made this beat.
Welcome to Kicking It with KB. I am your host, KB. To my right, I have Shakira. And to my left, I have Kanye and Akeem.
What's up?
Happy New Year! I hope y'all enjoyed the holidays with Christmas and New Year's. And we are off to a fresh start on a new year, 2023.
Thank God.
Look at God. Yes, right. We all made it.
For sure. We made it.
Let's see.
It's easy.
Our subject for today is talking about supporting or not supporting, the lack thereof also, black businesses. We see that whether it comes to, like this one, podcast, whether it comes to clothing, whether it comes to, what else, caterings or any type of business that is black owned. And operated, but isn't that black owned? Black owned means operate. Well, no, not to particular. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And operate, black operated. There is not a significant amount of support behind the black community when it comes to any type of black business. Now, there could be variations of why, meaning good whys, I guess you could call it, or bad whys, because, the customer service sucks.
Pros and cons.
Or...
Yeah. Sorry.
I mean, it is
I'm sorry.
Stereotypes. Yeah, definitely stereotypes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons behind it.
There are.
Yeah.
So
We're
we
gonna
are
dig
going
into
to discuss those pros and cons about not supporting or supporting black businesses. So one of my first questions is, why do you think there is a lack of our people mostly, but just anybody supporting black businesses? And anybody can start. I ain't gonna start with girls or boys.
With Kanye, since he actually works in that field.
Well, first and foremost, I would like to speak on stereotypes towards black-owned businesses or black-owned and operated businesses. A lot of people have a stereotype that anything a black man or a black woman sells is either cheap, also has no value as much as the next person's item, as far as other corporate businesses or white-owned predominant businesses. But yeah, I would definitely say stereotypes is one thing. Like I said, there's this thing where, like in New York City, right, there are Africans who sell off-brand goods, off-brand bags and things of that nature, and they sell them in the city, and they sell them a lot of times on the mats in the city, like on the ground. So a lot of people who associate those black people particularly, they feel that all black people sell fake or non-real items and products. So
that's horrible.
Yeah, so that's a very serious stereotype on, black-owned businesses and why, a lot of people don't support black people when it comes to, yeah.
But at the same time, JoJo tried to sell me a Rolly.
Yeah.
And that shit was
He
a
said,
phony.
yeah.
Right.
He said, yeah.
Got the Rolly. Now it's a stolen.
Well, I will say that's a stereotype, but you can also think about the opposite of that too, because a lot of these services, especially from looking at Facebook and social media, when it comes to female services like nails and hair, a lot of them be charging. It's ridiculous how much they be charging for certain things.
Bleaches.
Huh?
No.
Stop it.
How much they be asking for a certain thing. And I don't dabble in doing hair. I do my own hair. I do my own nails. So I don't know the average pricing when it comes to either of them. And I'm only speaking from what I see people post on social media and reading so many stories.
Now,
and it's just from research that it seems like a lot of hairstylists and people who do nails just charge so much. And then when they don't even get the service right, the customer service also sucks because they don't end up getting the money back. They don't get any money back because I know it's a lot of those services, if you put a deposit down, you can't get the deposit back. But it's like there's no working together when it comes to things like that. And it's so frustrating because people decide to spend their money. And you don't try to work with them. Like, that's disappointing.
Well, like you said, with the hairstylists and the nails, I get they always say, set your own prices or
Right.
hit the
Which is
price
true.
that
Which you have
think
a
what you're
technically have
worth.
a right to do
You
that.
do.
Yeah,
I
what
mean,
you're
with
worth.
right.
But at the same
But-
time, if I'm going to someone's house who's
Right.
not licensed but knows how to do hair, don't try to charge me a licensed price. I'm sorry,
Price,
just
yeah.
don't.
Right.
I call the state board and have you arrested.
Oh,
Yeah, for sure. And you won't have a business at all.
Exactly. So don't
yeah.
try to I be seeing people be like, "Oh, I paid $2,000 for this hairstyle." No, why?
Yeah.
I don't care if you got the money to blow,
Yeah.
but why?
Right.
I mean, that's one of those things people do. They just spend it to be spending it because they know they got it.
And then the
Right.
girl, I saw one girl, she went all the way to Africa, got I think micro braids or something like that for $15.
Yeah.
$15.
$15.
Right. But then at the same
How
time, though,
long?
too, you have to
They were
think
down
about.
her back.
I mean, but you also have to think about, the trip and stuff as
I mean,
well.
but she was on vacation already,
Right.
so-
So,
Which
I mean,
is
it's
true, but
different. Yeah.
But $15 and had it was a
And
2-day
they
process.
do good, and they do very well
All right.
on hair.
I mean,
Wow.
that's where a lot of the hairstyles first started.
Man.
But like I be saying, some of these hairstyles is horrible.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, "Well, I just paid like $400 or $500 for this."
Right.
I never understood why are you paying so much for, first of all, a wig, which is
Right.
probably like $500-$600 on its own.
Right.
Then going to get
lot.
it installed by
Right.
somebody who is also going to charge you another $500
Right.
just
That's
to
crazy.
install
Just
the
to
wig.
install
Right.
it.
When you can install it your damn self because YouTube has everything, people.
Right.
It does.
Right.
Yeah, they do, which is
Right.
very true.
Just like I see girls, I spent $200 on my nails.
Right.
Nigga, I spend $50 at the most.
Right.
I'm cheap.
Right. But now these days, there's like I said, it's so many trends and things that a lot of people follow each other. And
Stupidity
and
seems to be the trend.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, in today's time,
I said it.
But it is what it is. There's a lot of people who spend certain amount of money on their hair and their nails and their appearance. So I guess it all depends on the person. But particularly, that is an issue in the black community. I feel. Especially when it comes to women, black women, most importantly, overcharging for services that sometimes, a lot of times, you can charge for services that you aren't upheld in. Like, for example, you could be unorganized, not being sloppy. I've been in a situation like that before with when I had dreadlocks at one point in time. The people I was going to, they were very unorganized,
Is this the same place I went to that one
so,
time?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So,
That's why I never went back.
I was saying,
But,
this at the first try.
Yo,
yeah, so
I'm gonna let him finish and I'm gonna speak on that. Go ahead. I ain't
But,
gonna put their business out there though.
Yeah. I'm definitely not gonna do that because the person who started my hair, she's the owner. So, but
See, and that's another thing. That make if your owner is good but your employees is bad, that
Right.
makes your whole business look bad.
Right.
It does,
So,
which is
yeah.
very true.
So it's like you got to be careful who you hire.
right? I mean, everything
but
trial
you
and
know-
error. So
Which
it's
is true,
just
but
until you
some
can get it
people
right.
don't-
But yeah,
Some people don't look at that because they just making money. That's all they really care about.
Yeah.
I'm not saying in her particular situation that's her case scenario.
right,
But I remember when I wanted to start my lock journey, that ended so quickly, and it it did. Like I only did the first process, and I think an afro at that time. I don't think my hair was as long as it is now, but Kanye had recommended the place, and so I went. And when I first got there, like I was like, okay, this is a nice place, nice chill place. And then I was standing there for like 5-7 minutes because nobody said anything. Like, hey, how are you doing? Do you have an appointment? I didn't get asked that. I was standing there looking. I was like, let me go sit down. Then somebody walked up to me and was like, do you have an appointment? I was like, yes. My appointment started at a certain time, and I didn't start till like a half hour after I was supposed to start.
That's another thing. Like
Yeah.
start on time. Don't sit
Right.
here and have people waiting.
right.
And it was
exactly.
an
Especially
early-
when you schedule the
early
appointment,
appointment,
and you
yeah.
want me to be there at the appointment on
and
time.
then,
so.
and don't cancel my appointment at the last minute either.
Yeah.
And then be like, oh, you're not getting your deposit back because at
Right.
this point we
You
fighting.
can't,
Right.
You can't be asking for support
right,
and you ain't being professional.
right,
Which is true.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of black-owned businesses want support and want especially of the black people, but y'all don't treat the black people in a professional manner.
Yeah, because
Right.
let
Like
it be
y'all treat
any other color. A person
Right.
not of color, they'd
right.
be on time and professional,
any
everything.
Other person
Right.
not of color, y'all treat them,
Sure do.
better. And then in a lot of cases, they don't even treat them good anyway,
Yeah.
because then it comes down to the customer service part of it,
Right.
where they don't have no customer service. You can't have somebody that, you know what I'm saying, yells at people and all that, blah blah blah, starting their own business and then think they're gonna be successful.
Right.
You know, I don't care how talented you are in business. If you ain't got customer service, that just ain't gonna be successful.
Facts.
That's
You know what I'm
true.
saying? Because you
Facts.
can't just be telling people, you know,
Anything and everything.
anything
yeah.
and everything,
Yeah.
how you feel and whatnot,
Right.
you know, and not biting your tongue.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And
You
not
know, in
having-
certain situations.
That's why I don't work in customer service.
I mean,
Ooh,
no,
that's
man,
a whole
no,
nother
I mean,
subject on its own.
It's like anything else. It's picking and choosing your battles. You know what I'm
That's a
saying?
battle
Yeah.
I would
Like
lose.
when you a lot of people they'll get in these positions, own a business, open up a business, and then feel like, okay, this is my business, I could do whatever I want, which it
not the
is your
case.
business. But if you want consumers, you
Yeah.
can't just talk to them any
No,
kind of way.
Sure can.
Right.
And what's gonna happen is word gonna get out, and
Your
word
employees
spread
either,
fast.
not
Right.
just you, the employees also. You
I
can't
mean,
tolerate
yeah,
stuff
but
from
employees.
But one thing
Right.
about it, about it is though, like when you a owner, you handle those employees. You know what I'm saying? Either let them go, warn them, or let them go. You already should know because, like I said, word travels fast. They be like, "Well, so and so still there," and then
Oh,
they
especially
come
with
out.
social media now too.
Yeah,
Right.
but
Yep,
like I
yep.
said, either way, you know what I'm saying. Bad news travels fast. Good news travels even faster. You know what I'm saying?
Now, what I will say, the other thing that the black community lacks is when you have somebody that actually is really good at their job, they have the license, they're professional, and the prices that they're asking for are fair because just all that comes together.
Right.
You won't pay the prices for them.
Right.
But
See,
then
now
when it
that's a
comes to
consumer problem.
Yeah,
That's
when
a
it comes
consumer
to
problem.
Right.
wonderful or like Louis Vuitton
Right, or a corporation, yeah,
they be
those of that
spending
nature.
for
Right.
a plain T-shirt you gonna pay $1,500.
Yes.
1,500.
And-
But this person made a really dope shirt
Hey man, this
for
shit
the
true
exact.
religion, man.
Right.
You gotta leave me alone.
Or sometimes,
But
sometimes,
that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Like it'll be something so simple,
Right.
like something that you could literally get done by somebody and help support. If you so pro-black and all this other stuff,
Right.
you could actually help your own
Oh, shit,
community.
not true religion, though.
Right.
Huh? I mean, but I'm saying that's what people be saying.
No,
I know,
But
I know,
literally,
I'm
you can get the
agreeing.
same, if not better, the same kind of product, if not better,
Right.
at a little bit lower than the price of the name brand that you're buying. And instead of just you want to complain talking about something, it's expensive. That's too much. But you literally just spent $1,500 on a
Right.
plain white tee.
You know, that's
I-
funny
yeah.
because I've seen that when Kanye West first came out with his clothing line.
Hey, hold on.
No, I'm not coming for him. I'm not coming for him at all.
Hold on.
But when he came out with his clothing line and other people started, kind of imitating and with the whole
See,
ripped up
remember
stuff.
I told you that. Yeah,
Right.
remember I told. They said it was
People-
ugly,
Walmart
but
one of the
look
people
how
that did that?
look H
Yeah.
and
Oh,
M,
brands, Nike,
H&M,
Adidas,
all them,
but
all them was trying to take bro
Yeah.
style.
It's funny because people like the stuff Kanye West made, and it was funny because I saw Boosie. He said it. He was like, "Why do people buy Kanye West stuff? That shit's
Yeah.
ugly.
Right.
They only buy it because it's from Kanye West." And I'm
Right.
like, "But if you look at it, look how many people followed in his steps
Right,
and
exactly.
made the same clothes."
And not even on the
Tried
same
to
And
say
some
material.
more,
thing.
including
And the
his
mate-
own son, including Boosie's son that was wearing Yeezys because they burnt the Yeezys in a video after they fell out with Kanye West or whatever personal issues Boosie
But I'm
had with
just-
Kanye
Because people
West.
just do that for
So,
trend. Once again,
yeah,
for
exactly,
attention.
for trend. And
ain't
then a
for
lot of
nothing
people,
else.
and mostly black people, most importantly, we follow trends more than anybody. We
Not
jump
this-
on trends.
Not me
Yeah,
either.
not-
It
Not me
might not be
That is
But
it.
he's talking about in general, in a
in a
sense,
way,
yeah.
and then and
Yeah.
then sometimes it
Yeah.
can be in certain senses that you might not realize as well. So,
Nigga,
like I
iPhones.
said,
Yeah.
but for the most part, like I said, like a lot of times, because I've had instances where I've had situations where an elder Caucasian woman who was shopping in Nordstrom's, and we were next to Nordstrom's at one point in MacArthur Mall, and she came in the store, and we sell these $10 scarves for women. And she said to me, and she said, "You know what's crazy?" She said, "You guys have scarves that are just as good, if not greater, than the scarves that are in Nordstrom's that are for $80.
$80.
That you guys sell for $10."
That don't make no
And
sense.
for people to complain about the price or ask for a discount and things of that nature, so it's like I said, a lot of people, they follow trends, they see what, and then a lot of times they want to be accepted. So, but yeah.
I'm listening to you. Jamal's being heathenist. Jamal's being heathenist. Don't listen.
yeah.
Don't look at him.
I just missed the whole thing.
You didn't miss anything. He's just being.
I was just trying to tell her where I got it from. You knew what I was talking about.
I know. And then I turn around and look at her and see her face like. You know what I mean?